Amazing, timeless, guys get better and better.
It went by way too fast. It needs to be like 5 times longer.
Timeless.
I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was really incredible, the whole thing. I didn't want it to end.
And I don't know how they think all those things up, but that's incredible.
You know, it's amazing what they put together. I loved all the genre jumping. It was fantastic.
The greatest shit I've ever seen in my life. 2028. I've been wanting to see that shit.
Timeless. I mean, the name speaks for itself. We got here in Vegas in 2010. We've just been hitting the ground running, putting shows together for the past, almost 10 years. In general, everything that we've used from, music from the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s to where we're at right now, we've always stayed up to date. Music itself is timeless, and that's where the name of the show comes from.
It's like 10 years put into one show. It's a lot of our concepts that we've used throughout the years but perfected over time.
Decades worth of work and catalog from since 2003, When I say catalog, I mean just the classic songs that we've used and routines and stuff that we've done. We feel like we've been dancing to timeless music.
The name Timeless is more geared towards like music, right? Like music is, our first show was Muse IC. We owe everything to music. Music is the inspiration for our movement, and good music, it's able to transcend eras, ages, times.
Man, how to encompass 10 years? That's crazy. How do I start from the beginning?
And if you were to ask me, how does it feel to have our show on the Strip? I mean, it feels like how we did the first time back in 2010 when we opened up Muse IC. Every single time MGM asked us to put a new show together, it just really sparked a fire under us that we wanted to do better than the last. When we came out with Prism, that was a way for us to do something totally different than what people have seen of JABBAWOCKEEZ. And from that point on, we always wanted to make sure that the show and the story content was just always brand new. From dreams and then to where we're at now with Timeless. And I just feel like Timeless is just a show that kind of tells the history of where we've been, where we're at now, and what we want to do for the future. Not just for JABBAWOCKEEZ, but for this company. So it feels amazing to have a show on the Strip.
Creative process, we get into a lab or, into our dance space. We have a whiteboard. We're fleshing out all of our ideas in terms of music. We want the playlist.
It was everyone's experience throughout the years of what works and what doesn't work on stage to, like an audience. Everyone got to bring things to the table. But this time around, we picked from everybody's choreography and then had that openness and oneness, and we figured out how to sequence everything that made sense, and was able and digestible for the audience.
The creative process in putting together Timeless, it stems back to how we started back in 2003. Even when we put together the show in 2010, our first show here in Vegas, it was a team effort. It was being able to gather everyone's strengths and what they do in dance, creatively with their art, whether it be in music and whether it be in production, and work as one unit, work as a team, from the music to the storyline.
In terms of building the show, this is the first time that we had opened it up to our cast members. And so our cast members, the specific team that we created, our co-choreographers team that we created, was hand-picked individuals who had been with us for 10 plus years, since the time that we had been here in Las Vegas.
The talent that we work with and watching their talent is dope, man. And it's dope to have them contribute to the bigger picture.
We're closing it out, but we still have work to do.
Yes.
The real celebration is when we open the show.
Let's go!
So when that happens, it's gonna be on and popping. But thank you guys for all your hard work. Thank you for just believing in the whole this right here. And we believe in you guys. So thank you guys so much.
2 words, 1 show, let's go!
content things.
Those are going to be a problem. The screen is going to the screen actually.
This time with our stage, you know, we wanted to go all out. We wanted to make sure that the stage had just as much TLC as the dancing.
We added a new wrap to the wall. We repainted it. We put a little bit of levels. It's kind of a smaller, intimate venue, and we just wanted to add a little bit of levels to this. So we had a little stage and beautiful LED screens.
Juan Nunez painted some amazing stuff on the walls, from making it fit with the black light so it glows in the dark so the audience trips themselves out, right? Lighting was way different. We even used our lasers and came up with some amazing laser elements that I don't think anyone has ever even done in Las Vegas. I mean, the way that we do it.
Every angle, every laser, every beat, every musicality in the laser, we've gotten to customize, and that alone was groundbreaking. I don't think people like choreographed with lasers like that. They either, you know, choreographed to an already preset laser and then, you know, just did what they could do, opposed to like, hey, I want it to go here, and then I want it to go here, and then I want it to go here. At this point in time, I don't think people were actually choreographing like that.
We wanted people to feel immersed in this world. We changed all of our projection background. We changed it to LED panels. So we had gotten some LED panels to create state-of-the-art video content. You know, we wanted to be able to play with that in terms of having high quality LED allows you to have that clearer image. That was actually a huge level up for us, was the LED. We added some dimension in terms of risers, so it wasn't just a flat stage. Now we were able to have like levels.
That right there, I feel like, is the biggest win, because visually when you walk in, you're just encompassed in our world now.
You feel at certain points that you're actually on stage with the JABBAWOCKEEZ, which is dope, and we're trying to bring you into our world, you know?
There were just so many great elements that we were able to put into this show that I know the audience and the crowd, when they watch it, even the first 10 minutes, they're gonna feel like they got their money's worth. So the choreography and music in this show was actually a plethora of what we enjoy and what we love, right? Not only that, but it was also kind of like a timeline, a history on certain routines that people have enjoyed since 2010, let alone 2003 if you follow us that far along.
To me, it's like a DJ, like you gotta pick the right song. And sometimes it's not even the movement, the song itself will just make people gravitate to it. So I was like, man, what music can we use that will hit every genre, that will hit every age, it don't matter if you're purple, green, female, male, whatever, right? It's just a song that you can relate to, and if you hear it and sonically, and you just kind of gravitate to it, then we got you. We reeled you in. So we can do step touch from here on out.
How to invoke this high energy, how to take our audience on a ride sonically, that's important. How can we bring this music palette, how can we bring this playlist to life? You know, how do we take them on this ride? We wanna make them laugh, we wanna make them, you know, feel, you know, sometimes heavy emotions. We want to take them on a ride, basically. And so how do we pull that off with our movement?
We wanted to come from space. We wanted to establish that we were aliens observing human music. What do you do when you know, if you're an alien and you come to Earth and you want to know about music, you go to all the regions. And so we kind of figured out, okay, well, let's go visit the West Coast. Let's go visit the East Coast. Let's go visit Dirty South. And then from there, we went through all the eras as far as like the 1960s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and figured out a sequence to how to translate that.
If it's the South, we gotta put some definitely Outkast in there. If it's the East Coast, we gotta throw some Wu-Tang Clan. West Coast, we got Dre and Snoop. Like, it was just cool to, you know, Bay Area.
We pretty much wanted to make sure that we hit all genres of music.
Shout out TJ Lewis, our MD, our musical director. He was able to sequence a stellar show in a like small amount of time. He was able to like help storyboard the whole show musically. It was pretty tight working with the Bangers again for this. It was kind of historical that for them to come back and create this original soundtrack for Timeless. We got to come into the studio, spend time with them, vibe out. They were, were there in the beginning to provide us original music, right after APDC. And that's what helped our signature style and our signature sound is the Bangers, So for them to come back and take the time out, kind of go on a musical retreat, pick everyone's brain, put all the ingredients to make one song, creating original music, storyboarding the whole Timeless, vibe. Man, it's history in the making, again.
Man, when it came to our marketing, we wanted it to pop. We wanted it to stand out. We wanted to expose our audience to street culture, street fashion, artwork that is, you have to dig, you gotta know, you know what I mean? We wanted it to be vibrant, we wanted to have that look, and so we had an idea. We want to be space, we want to have the space look, right? That was the vibe in the field. But then when it came to the colors, we found an individual named Mad Dog Jones who creates these amazing visual images using this stunning color palettes.
The artists that we got to work with, like Mad Dog Jones and photographer Eric Hercules, man, they just knew how to capture us and just make us look timeless as well. So
I mean, it looks like future cyberpunk type of vibes. Sometimes it's the colors though that really stood out to us that we appreciated. And so we did a photo shoot with a young man named Eric Hercules. We sent over the raw files of the images, and his creative world saw what it was that he saw, and he put something together for us. And literally the first iteration that he came back with was exactly what we were looking forward to. I think one of our strengths in terms of past success with shows is the fact that our demographic is so wide. We have something for everybody. We really played off of how music is supposed to be listened to. It's supposed to be listened to and felt as well. So there's definitely a process of making sure that we personally emotionally connect with the song, because we know when that happens, along with the visual aspect that we are trying to present, that is going to really create that experience for our audience.
If there's any moment in the show that a song spoke to them, then that's cool with me. If they can walk out bobbing their head and singing one of the songs that was in the show and just remembering the lights and remembering how we were visually showing the song.
We were seasoned in how to execute everyone's ideas and communicate that and, bring it all to the table and cook it up and deliver it to the masses.
Is this show going to be better than our last? Is this show going to be better than our show in 2010? Ultimately, it's not even about being challenged from all the other shows in Vegas. It's about being challenged within ourselves. Us as JABBAWOCKEEZ, we always want to make sure that we do better from the last time. That we learn from our mistakes and we make a better show.
Everything that we've gone through, all the challenges we've gone through have just definitely sharpened us as a team. I feel that we are the strongest we've ever been.
Like in a spiritual way of what music can be, it can be light, it can be dark, and we want to show a darker side of JABBAWOCKEEZ and like the darker side of a moon, We want to show that side of JABBAWOCKEEZ, so we will bring you into that kind of tone and music. And then for the end, we wanted to show you and bring you back into what the whole point was to show you the light and to show you that, there is light in the end of the tunnel, you know, even if there is darkness.
And so life imitates art imitates life. We pull from that. And yeah, like I said, our audience, we want to make sure that when they walk out of the theater, that they're inspired to share the light that they have inside.